Your primary form of navigation during this campaign is a mixture of initial steers from the navigator and use of the directional radio needles. In all instances throughout the campaign, the navigator will set up your directional radio for you. Don't worry if you're not familiar with directional radio navigation, as you'll get plenty of opportunities to practice during the operational conversion phase of Dougie's training. Later in the war, following oboe introduction, GH was introduced, where an oscilloscope was used and beams were intercepted and the navigator could give a course change. I've represented this in the actual campaign, and I'll show you how it works now. With the GH elements, your primary source of navigation is still the directional radio needles, but in addition to that, I've also given you a visual representation of the oscilloscope that the navigator would have seen during operations. Now, when there's a course change, obviously there'll be a swing of the needles, and there'll also be a change of the oscilloscope positioning on your screen. It's kind of a visual representation and an assist at the same time. Slow and gentle inputs are really required when manoeuvring the aircraft, as this will keep the needles on track on the DR, and it will also keep the oscilloscope on track at the same time. If you oversteer, the needles will move rapidly, and so will the oscilloscope. So nice, slow and gentle movements. What I will do now is I will oversteer off course, and I'll show you what the oscilloscope does. So the oscilloscope will change as the needles change. So if the needles are telling you to turn left, the oscilloscope will tell you to turn left. And same with right, and when you're on track, it will be bang centre telling you that you are on track. That's when you need to trim the aircraft up and fly the needles. During the bombing phase using GH navigation, an audible signal will be heard for when you should release the bombs. During this campaign, the navigator will tell you what speed setting, what altitude you're supposed to be at, and will also give you a 5-mile run-in. At the same time, he will also set up the Mickey Mouse or the bomb panel for you, as well as open the bomb bay doors. Now, don't be concerned about any of these new elements within this campaign. At the end of the day, as per real Mozzie crews, you'll get a chance to practice at the Lid live firing range prior to going on a bombing mission. I filmed this example at dawn, as YouTube doesn't cope quite so well with nighttime images. The AI Mark 8 radar works in a very similar way to the GH version. The only difference being that the needles are actually tied in closer to the gun sight of the Mosquito. So you'll have a visual representation shown on the screen. You'll also have the directional needles, which will tell you which direction to fly. Now, the visual oscilloscope representation will also assist you when you're zoomed in looking at the target, as you won't be able to see the directional needles. For those of you that may have difficulty in spotting aircraft, and particularly at night because it's not an easy task, I have added further options to assist you, and they'll become apparent from the messages printed on the screen. And that concludes this brief overview of some of the unique elements built into this campaign. If you decide to purchase it, I hope you enjoy it, and I will catch up with you later. Take care now. Thank you.